right? We talked about Lamar Jackson leading up into this playoff game, and obviously his early exit. So you look at this game, a 10-0 lead. What's the scariest thing for the Ravens? To get behind. Like, all of those things start coming to your mind, and then you saw at some point Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, say, hey, I have Lamar Jackson, and used him the way you should use the best player on the field, and eventually it started to take hold.
I think the reality is neither of these teams like each other.
Exactly.
You know, like
that's that drama.
This goes back to last year. Baltimore's the 1 seed.
Yeah.
The MVP of the NFL, and then Tennessee goes in there and knocks them out. It's been brewing since then.
Yes.
And then they play in the middle of the season this year, and these teams are both cut from the same cloth. We want to physically beat you up. We want to play in your face, pound the rock, smash mouth football. We think we're better than you, and you think you're better than us. Let's find out. And at the end of the day, like Marcus said, Baltimore proved today that they can win ugly, that they can win kind of without the explosiveness of Lamar Jackson, and they got their kind of nose bloodied a little bit. And then at the end of the day, 8 was just absolutely spectacular with his feet.
If you noticed at the end of the broadcast there was some chirping across the field between these two teams. Coming up here momentarily, we're going to hear from coaches. We're going to hear from some of the players, see how those emotions ran over after the game. But right now, we're going to take you to the pivotal moments in this game for the Ravens in there, and you'll see what happens. We see this so many times with this Ravens offense. Do I keep it? Do I give it up? Number 8 was smart to keep it himself there. Later in this drive, how about this? You expect him to keep it, Marcus, but he drops it off to Patrick Ricard.
Absolutely, and this is what I talked about with Greg Roman. Some easy throws to out-leverage the defense, get up the field, and get another first down.
And then from here, Dan, all you got to do is give it to the best running game in the NFL.
Yeah, and Patrick Ricard leads the way. They get a great double team off their left side, and then J.K. Dobbins, watch the seam right there behind that double team, following Patrick Ricard, and the physicality to finish that drive.
And what that did was cap off 17 unanswered points for a Ravens team that was down 10-0 on the road. They took control of that game, and they went on to win it and advance to the divisional round. Dan, speak to me a little bit about that response from that team, capitalized by that drive.
It was huge. I mean, you figure, okay, we're down 10-0. We threw the ball too early, and that leads to that interception. We're kind of getting away from our identity. And then they settle in, and Greg Roman, their play callers, like, okay, we've got something to work with here, and the ball gets out to the perimeter early on in the second half. And then Lamar's starting to get into a flow, right? That's the big deal, is getting to the flow. He's such a special player. And then their offensive line decides that they're just going to start weighing on people and wearing on people. And those playmakers, a J.K. Dobbins, a Hollywood Brown, a Mark Andrews, you get the ball into their hands. And at the end of the day, Michael, it's like, you guys are the paycheck earners, right? Like, let me just get them the football and make some plays. And I think it allowed them to settle into a rhythm of how they were going to win that football game this afternoon.
All right, let's get some perspective right now, live on SportsCenter. Head coach of the Titans, Mike Vrabel, who just lost.
I'm Lisa Salters, live with Lamar Jackson. Lisa.
Lamar, tell me, what is it? Lamar, what does it feel like to win a playoff game?
It feels good. I'm happy we got it done. All phases played great today. We know it's going to be a tough matchup. You know, they beat us 2 times that I've been here. I'm just happy we got the victory, man. Our team played great today. We finished. We finished.
Lamar, they jumped on you guys early. What changed after they went up 10-0?
Yeah, we stayed focused. You know, we didn't get rattled. Our coaches didn't get rattled. You know, we had to put points on the board. We drove the ball pretty good. You know, I threw an interception, a dumb interception. You know, but we just kept fighting, and we made it happen.
You told me that you had heard the talk all week that you couldn't win in the postseason. It was your #1 goal. What was going through your mind when you threw that early pick and they went up 10-0?
We got to go score. You know, this shit, it's not going to be the same results as last year. That was on my mind. I told Coach, you know, Coach Erb was talking to me the whole time, the whole game. He always do that, but I was telling him locked in, you know, that shouldn't have been an interception. I was ticked off about it. I'm still ticked off about it, but we got the victory, so I can't be too mad.
This game was billed about you and Derrick Henry.
No, it wasn't. It was about us winning the game, you know. It's not about me and Derrick Henry. You know, we played 2 different positions. He a great running back. You know, he one of the best running backs ever. And, you know, it was about Ravens versus Titans, you know, and we came out with a victory.
I'm talking about how it was billed. You went out here and you got yours. Derrick Henry didn't get his. What does that say about your defense?
Our defense, you know, they was tired of hearing the noise, you know, and they did what they're supposed to do. You know, they've been talking about, you know, they've been doing it all week in practice. I feel like they've been doing it all season, you know, but we just came together as one and we got it done.
Was Lamar Ball on full display today?
Say it again?
Was Lamar Ball on full display today?
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win.
Lisa.
All right, Lise, congratulations, Lamar. And no one should downplay this as just one playoff victory. That's not fair to Lamar Jackson if you're going to give him a hard time for being 0-2 in his postseason career, young postseason career.
Yeah, look, he's one of the great competitors in the NFL. He's still so young. The defense played its rear end off. What a great game.
Don't forget, Super Wildcard Weekend continues today. The Bears and Saints on CBS, Nickelodeon, and Prime Video. And don't miss the Browns and Steelers tonight on NBC. The Ravens are going to Kansas City or Buffalo next week. Depends on that Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. The entire...
That's how it goes sometimes. You know, you're going to need all three phases to execute. You know, they won the game. It's a good football team. We knew they were good. But nobody let anybody down.
Huck?
Yeah, Mike, the decision to punt on 4th and 2 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, can you kind of walk us through your thought process on that?
No, just decided to punt. Thought we were playing well defensively. Thought we would get a punt inside the 10 and, you know, be able to play the field position game. Had some time there that I felt like, yeah, we could, and you know, we held them to a field goal. It's just, you know, I mean, we were playing against a kicker there that, you know, kicks them from the 40. You know, it's becomes a field position battle, and I thought that, you know, we'd get a stop and pin them inside the 10. And, you know, the way we were playing defensively, I was really proud of those guys. That, you know, I mean, obviously Lamar had a fantastic day, but I thought we were, you know, dialed in. I thought, you know, enjoyed watching those guys play defense.
Tim?
Mike, could you just speak to the disappointment level and the finality of it all after losing a playoff game?
I mean, I just, you know, I don't think that anybody prepares, you know, speeches, you know, about losing and what you're going to do. You know, after the game, we're preparing for what the opponent is and what's going to be the schedule moving forward and how we're going to win another game. And so, you know, my disappointment is obviously, you know, for the players who put so much into it, that are beat up, that play this game far less than anywhere close to 100%, that battle and compete out there on the field. I'm disappointed for them. You know, you don't like to see the people that you care about frustrated or disappointed, and certainly we all are.
TD?
Yeah, Coach, you seem to have something going earlier with A.J. Brown in the slot against Humphrey. Was there anything that kind of pulled you away from going to that? What happened there?
I mean, I'm just trying to, you know, stay balanced a little bit, and, you know, that's a good matchup, and, you know, it was competitive, and, you know, we tried to get back to him, and it batted one down, and, you know, it just wasn't enough. You know, just weren't able to get anything really going there offensively.
Terry?
Mike, what happened with Corey Davis? He wasn't in there on those last couple of series on offense.
I mean, obviously he wasn't able to go, so.
John Glennon?
All right, so that's perspective there from Mike Vrabel. How about the winning side? John Harbaugh with the Ravens.
Against a very good football team, very well-coached team that plays very hard, very physical. And that's the kind of game it was. It's the kind of game we expected it to be. And it was a tough football game, and it's a great win. Just proud of our guys. I mean, to come back and fight, you go down, not blink, keep pounding, keep your poise. We talked about playing this play, and then playing this play, and then playing this play. And that's what our players did. Then we gave a game ball to Lamar, and really the whole team backing him up and having his back for his first playoff win, and many of our guys' first playoff win. Chuck Clark talked about that, and others. So just proud of these guys. It's something that's very meaningful because of the type of game it was, how hard fought it was, and now we're looking forward to the next one. Okay, what questions do you have?
We'll get started here with Jamison Hensley.
Hey, John, yeah, I'm sorry, John. You mentioned with Lamar, just touching on that, and obviously, I mean, it's a team win, but there was so much focus on him not winning. I mean, how was the reaction in there when you gave Lamar the game ball?
It was a big cheer. You know, I mean, there's a lot of cheering, a little bit of dancing, and you know, I think everybody's just really happy. You're right. There was a lot of attention on it. You know, that's how it works. We understand that's the nature of it. You know, that's really not the main point, I don't think, but it's a team game, and I felt like our guys all played well. They were just happy for him. It's something that he won't have to talk about in the future, and that's a meaningful thing.
Jerry Coleman.
Hey, Coach, also, you know, for you, I mean, it's the first playoff win for you personally in a while. Could you talk a little bit about that? And the way the team felt after.
The offense starts to go to work, folks. Lamar Jackson to Marquise Brown.
Okay. Yeah, I think I heard you, Jerry, about the meaningfulness of the first the playoff win. Was that it, Jerry? Yeah, it's very meaningful. I mean, yeah, we haven't won one of these for a while. It's been since 2014, I think, since we won a playoff game here. So we weren't in there for a few years, and then we haven't won one. So to win it is very meaningful. It matters, but really all that stuff is just history. I mean, that's just behind you. You know, we talked about that in terms of the game. You know, the play is here, then it's gone. Then you play the play that is in front of you, and this was the game that was in front of us. So that's the focus. That's what you try to make the main thing. And I thought our guys did a great job of making that the main thing. All those other storylines, you know, there are no subplots. There weren't subplots. There was just the game, and our guys did a great job playing the game.
We're going to Jeff Sarebeck.
John, you guys, when you were talking about the game ahead of time, I'm sure you weren't thinking to get in a 10-0 hole. That probably would have been not the best case scenario. What did you see from your players after that, and what was kind of the attitude like on the sideline, and how rewarding was it to see the response?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was very rewarding. Obviously, that's how you come back and win a football game. But there was nobody even blinked. I mean, nobody got down. You know, we just kept playing, and we knew it was going to be this play and this play and this play, and that's how the guys approached it. It's a very simple approach, and that's how they approach everything. I mean, that's how they approach practice. They keep it about football. We've got tremendous leadership. Derek Wolfe is going to speak to you here in a minute. One of the best leaders I've ever seen. One of the best leaders I've ever seen. Guys like that, in a sideline situation like that where you go down 10, that's what holds a team together. I mean, that's what keeps guys fighting, and those guys did a great job with that, and I'm real proud of them for it.
All right, that was John Harbaugh. Team moving on to the divisional round. We're going to hear from Lamar Jackson and Ryan Tannehill coming up momentarily here on SportsCenter. And guys, we showed that drive in the third quarter where the Ravens took control of the game, and ultimately that became the winning touchdown. But the deciding play, I think, came in the second quarter, that long touchdown run from Lamar Jackson. Marcus, it looked like it was going to be a sack. He turned into a 50-yard sprint.
Yeah, we were screaming about it watching the game, Mike, about leave the pocket early. Force the Tennessee Titans defense to make a play in the open field. And it feels like at some point during the game, right, look, let me break this down.
Okay.
This game was about attrition. This was about who would hit the big blow first, right? So Tennessee came out. They made a lot of plays early in the first quarter, went up 10-0 lead. But we all knew that the Baltimore Ravens was going to make a big play. But that play, that particular play that you just mentioned, that's what catapulted them to a 20-13 victory.
And it made him just the second quarterback ever to record 100 rushing yards. Colin Kaepernick did it in 2012 against the Packers, and they went on to the Super Bowl. But here's the deal. We've seen Lamar break off these runs since he's been in the league, Dan.
Yeah.
But how did this particular play end up being a touchdown?
One of the things that I don't think Lamar gets enough credit for is how smart he is, like the feel of football. And we're going to put this, we got the big wall. Look at this thing move out. It's 2021.
See what we do for you, Dan?
We're in studio. All right, so I talked about, Michael, you're dead on. Like, if this play does not happen, the Ravens don't win this football game, and it happens because Lamar, this thing's going to crush me. Lamar is super intelligent, but also his feel, right? So watch the right side of the screen in the motion. Now Mark Andrews comes in, and that safety follows him. Man coverage, that you become a runner because no one's going to account for you. So again, man-to-man coverage, that corner's going to have him, that defensive back's got him, that linebacker's got the tight end. Okay, now everyone pay attention to two things as the ball gets snapped here. I want your eyes to pay attention to those safeties, okay? Those safeties are going to drop down towards the football. Tennessee's going to run a defense called zero double robber. No safety in the middle of the field. They're going to play man-to-man coverage, and there's going to be a double robber. These safeties are going to rob the concept, or Lamar is a double spy person as well towards the football. Now, big fella, I got to give love. I'm with Marcus Spears. Put your attention now to Orlando Brown, okay? Because you're going to see a little bit of action from this Tennessee defensive line in a loop inside. Okay, this defensive end is going to loop inside. Watch the big fella absolutely push it down and create a little bit of a seam for Lamar Jackson. First of all, okay, so he pushes that defensive lineman down. Now here comes another outside loop. You better close down, but also get back outside to give Lamar a little bit of space. Look at the big fella move to get out in space. Now again, I told you, 0 double robber. These safeties are in great position. Look at them. They're at about 9. They're at about 10 yards right now, hanging. Okay, Lamar, are you going to be a runner? Because we'll go attack. Now Lamar decides in that moment, Marcus, you said it. Leave early. Leave early as a runner. No one's open. Everybody is covered. Leave early. Now here's the scene. Now there's those safeties. Those safeties are dropping down with vision on Lamar. They're in great position. The defense right now has won this rep. Lamar, go above the X's and O's. Now watch that safety on the right side. This safety, Byard, is going to be in great position as Lamar hits that seam. He's going to be in great spot coming down. He's outside leveraged. Bye-bye. Look at that. Like, that's the uncoachable. That's Lamar going above the play call, saying, defense, you won it. It doesn't matter. I'm good enough. And then the speed to run away. This game does not get won by Baltimore unless Lamar Jackson makes that play. He saw the man coverage. He knew that safety was dropping down. He left the pocket early because it was the best option. It was the only option. Touchdown, Baltimore. That play swings the game. It's a huge reason why Baltimore moves on.
That's a great example of everything that went into place in order for it to happen. But as I said on Twitter, watching that, Marcus, there's speed and there's speed. And Lamar got speed. And that's what happened on that play. Time now for
teams. We do root for people sometimes, and you have to feel good for Lamar Jackson. And we started the show by saying it's a ridiculous sample size. It was only 2 games, but he had lost both, and he had heard it and tried to change the narrative, and he did just that with his arm and his legs today.
Yeah, he sure did. Look, he held up his end of the bargain for sure, especially from a playmaking perspective. In the beginning of the game, we said this, though. It was going to take a complementary type of football game. And what did that mean? That meant the defense was going to have to play its part. And boy, did they ever. They put in a performance that Wink Martindale will be very proud of.
I think, the pressure coming into this game for Lamar was probably greater than for any player in these playoffs.